This video is intended for adult toy collectors. Hi there, welcome back to Nick's Vintage Toys and Collectibles. Today I've got something really cool to show you. The complete set of the Real Ghostbusters reproduction figures made by Hasbro in 2020. And originally back in the 80s these were made by Kenner, but Kenner was then bought out by Tonka in 1987, and then Tonka was bought out by Hasbro in 1991. So they do have the original Kenner logo on the front of the box, but also they've got the Hasbro logo on the back. So now Hasbro can reproduce all of the old vintage Kenner figures. And I managed to get this complete set of 6 figures from eBay for £95 with free postage and packing, which I think is quite a bargain. And we'll start off with the Green Ghost, which is actually Slimer. I don't know why he's called the Green Ghost. But they're really nicely made and detailed, and I think that is a total replica of the original 80s figure. I can't do a comparison because I haven't got an original Slimer. And there's a more detailed picture of him. And one of the good things about buying these from eBay, the seller that I buy them from, I've bought off him quite a few times in the past, and he actually buys them in bulk, so they're always in really good condition, because sometimes if you order one figure on its own, it's more likely to get damaged in the post. And they're all exactly the same on the back of the boxes. You can just see all the other figures that are in this range. And next up we've got the iconic Stay Puft the Marshmallow Man, and this is the only one that I can do a comparison with because I do have an original vintage Stay Puft. They are exactly the same, and they look like they both come from the same mould. The only difference is the vintage one is not as white as the new one, which is to be expected. Next up we've got Egon, and he looks totally awesome. As you can see there, he's got all his accessories with him. Proton Pack, Blaster and Ghost. And the only figure I can compare this one to is the Fright Features Egon, and they do look very similar. I've also got Peter Venkman, which is one of my favourite characters from the cartoon and the movie. And he's really nicely made, and he's got all his accessories as well. And as soon as I heard these were going to be released, I knew I had to get the complete set, and I'm really pleased that I managed to get them. And I'm always on the lookout for the vintage Real Ghostbusters carded figures, but they don't come up at my price range very often. And next I've got the Winston Zeddmore, and this is also a really nice figure, and it's got really nice artwork on the packaging. And like I said before, they're all exactly the same on the backs of the cards. And there's all his accessories and Ghost. And I think the Proton Pack and the Blaster are exactly the same as the vintage ones. And as you can see with this vintage one here, the beams are always broken, these bits. So it does make me wonder how many of these reproduction ones will be opened, and people will maybe try and pass them off as the original Proton Packs and Blasters. And I suppose that is one of the downsides of making these retro figures. But collectors do seem to really like these kind of figures. I've just ordered the Wave 2 of the retro Star Wars figures, and I've watched a lot of reviews on them, and collectors seem to really like them. And they want Hasbro to make more of them. So I think they're just doing what they see is selling well on the market. And it also gives collectors the opportunity to own something that looks like a vintage carded figure without spending the kind of money that this one would cost you, for instance. Anyway, I'm getting a bit off track, so I'll move on to the Ray Stantz figure. And this is another one of my favourite characters from the cartoon and the movie. And this figure also looks really cool, and it's got a really cool ghost with it. And there he is up close. I've also got an original carded Ray figure in my collection, one that I picked up a few years back. Let me know what you think of these Real Ghostbusters retro figures in the comments below, and also let me know what you think of reproduction and retro figures in general, whether you think they're a good thing or a bad thing. As you know, I really like them, but I'd be interested to hear what other people think. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.